Video diary for Thursday, August 1st, 2024. Been a very busy week. I actually stopped to look at my calendar and I'm either traveling or have doctor's appointments. I'm either traveling to doctors or have doctor's appointments from last Sunday, the 20 whatever, 5th, to this upcoming Monday, the 5th. I'm traveling or have doctor's appointments every day except for Saturday. So seven out of 8 days, I'm either traveling to or from a doctor or have a day with a doctor thing. So this upcoming Saturday, I guess the 3rd, is like my only quote unquote day off. So I've been super busy with a lot of things. So to recap, kind of the week, let's see. Yeah, Monday in Nashville for lab work at Sarah Cannon, pretty routine, just a lot of travel for an hour's worth of time at Sarah Cannon and no doctor's visit. However, they did schedule the lung draining for tomorrow here at Park Ridge. I'm super stoked about that. As you can tell, I'm having a rough morning, so I'm going to do this video with the oxygen on. I should probably try to use oxygen as much as possible and make my life easier on my body. Finally conceding what Josie and Mom have been trying to tell me for weeks, that I should use the oxygen more often than not. But I'm stubborn, and it's really difficult to step back from your independence and your mobility and all the things that you treasured and took for granted when you were healthy. You hear elderly people talk about mobility and independence, and as a young person, you're like, whatever. But I get it now. It's truly heartbreaking to mentally be able to want to do things, but physically know you can't or you shouldn't. There's things I probably could do, but I probably shouldn't do them because they could put me in a precarious situation. I could pass out, I could fall, could hurt myself doing relatively simple things. And, I lived my entire life being invincible and not having to think twice about things like that. I could literally do whatever I wanted to. I was athletic, strong, capable, and I'm none of those now. And it's a tough pill to swallow. It really is. Sometimes I feel like a burden on the people around me, and because I've gone from a guy that can carry his weight and then some around the house or whatever he does to, man, if I just brush my teeth, some days it's a good day. And this is just not how I want to live life. Especially since I'm not working, I have all this time that I would love to spend doing things in my head that I would love to do, but my body, either the breathing or the pain, won't let me do it. So it's like I've kind of got this retirement opportunity that I can't capitalize on because my body is constantly failing me. And it's sad because you have a lot of time on your hands to think about it because you're not busy with that time actually doing the things you want to do. You're more or less thinking about the things you want to do and the reasons you can't do them. And it's tough. It's tough. But anyways, let's move on from that. So I'm doing this video in the morning because I probably will crash out after my doctor's appointments here around noontime. That's been pretty status quo for me. But so once we got back once me and Josie got back from Nashville on Monday, I crashed out when we got home. Pretty standard business is me not being worth a damn after I do just about anything. Tuesday, me and Mom drove to Durham, North Carolina to go to Duke University Med Center. I don't have a pretty picture of any of that stuff, but Duke is, from a little bit we saw, a beautiful campus. And the Med Center is, well, it's not the newest in the world, still nice, sprawling complex. And I met with Dr. Riedel and his associate, Dr. Feng. She's doing her residency there. We met with them on Wednesday. He basically gave me this, which I'll kind of scroll it. But it's like a list of all your treatment options. And he kind of struck through the things we've already done and the things that we can continue to do. He kind of said this would be his next one to try would be this oral chemo type thing. And, he said I've already done gemcitabine with Doxatel. I've done Adria, which is the doxorubicin, and isosfamide. He said I could do isosfamide high dosage, but it's like you got to be in the hospital to get it administered, and it's pretty rough. And of course, he thinks the clinical trials are my best bet. But this is all that I have. All these options here, that's it. This is like once these are over, once these are done, that's it. We can hope for clinical trials to do some things. Let me get this straight. We can hope for clinical trials to do some things, but yeah. He said the good thing is we got 6 or 7 things we can do to try to keep your cancer at bay. He said the bad thing is you only got 6 or 7 things you can do to keep your cancer at bay. And so we all know what that means. Once we've gone through the list, that's it. And then you just kind of wait. Of course, you can hop on and off trials. But we had a good talk. I asked the question, like, what does the next 10 years of sarcoma research and development look like compared to the last 10 years? And he said, over the last 20 or 30 years, they've only had one FDA drug approved. And I think from the 70s to 2012 or something, he said he only had one drug FDA approved. And I think that's this oral one that I started, this pazopanabib or whatever, for sarcoma use. And I think he said from 2012 to now, there's been like over a dozen. And so like the research is speeding up. And I asked him like why sarcoma development isn't as far along. And he gave the answer, which what I expected is, it's rare. And there were kind of bigger fish to fry, like lung cancer and breast cancer and things like that. So I'm in a minority, and they'll get around to figuring it out, but they kind of got to get the big hitters first. And that's okay. That's just how it goes. He also gave me some comforting news in the fact that my sarcoma, while sarcomas as a whole are rare, the sarcoma I have is kind of one of the most or more common ones. And he says my case, like how I'm doing and the symptoms and disease progression, is very typical of what he sees with people that have a UPS. So, that's kind of a good thing. I wouldn't want to be, as I quoted myself, I'll quote myself in the meeting with him, I don't want to be the outlier of the outliers, or the rare of the rare. I don't want to be the odd case of a sarcoma, because then there'd be, no other baseline to compare me to, or my outcomes would be a lot more unknown. So that was good. And he examined my wound, and he said he didn't have any trials for me at the time, but we'll reach out when the timing is right. Trying to think. I mean, that was a good visit. I would say it's on par with my Emory visit, Dr. Reed there. Although they had two very differing opinions on my lung drainage. Dr. Reed was like, yeah, drain that sucker. You're going to feel better. No problem. Dr. Riedel here was like, I don't know if I would drain that because, there's risk of infection with jabbing a needle in you. While I agree with that, yeah. Two, he said the fluid in my lungs may be kind of jelly-like and not easily drained. So we may go through all this and not really get much out of it. And three, probably the worst news out of it all was like, he said this will be more than likely something I have to live with and reoccurring. Like we can drain the fluid off the lungs, but it's more than likely going to come back. And it's just part of the disease, is that the disease does introduce fluid into the pleural space and lead to impaired breathing like this. And that's garbage news to hear. I do not want to hear that. It really upset me because it's hard to explain to people, but this is a very difficult way to live. I mean, walking across the house, making my coffee this morning, going to the bathroom, brushing your teeth, taking a shower, getting dressed, they're all exhausting. And I'm huffing and I'm puffing. Last night at dinner, I had a huge coughing fit, and it's just terrible. And also, like, if I'm breathing like this, I won't be able to get back in the gym. I'm losing weight. He showed me my PET scan, and he's talking about the cancer. As we scroll through it, I'm looking at my muscle density, and I'm like, oh my God, my arms and my legs have shrunken so much. I've atrophied so much. That's what I'm focusing on, because I spent a lifetime building up these muscles, and they're just withering away. And I'm pissed off on the inside that all this work I've put in, and not just the work, but it's like something I've enjoyed doing. It's like a artist having all their paintings destroyed or something like that. Something they've been so passionate about. I mean, my body has been my canvas, and I'm wanting to mold my body as I see fit, because I enjoy doing it and I enjoy the results. And to have this disease just apparently wipe it out so easy and potentially keep it wiped out, it makes me mad and sad all at the same time. I don't know what to think about it. But anyways, Dr. Riedel at Duke said he wouldn't do it. Dr. Reed said he would do it. I'm going to do it. I'm going to get a drain tomorrow, actually. I want to try and see if I can get at least some temporary relief out of this. Because I don't know if miserable is the right word, but life is very difficult when you can't breathe. You can hear it in my voice. I mean, I got to sit here and talk to my phone on oxygen, and what people see on a video, or if they see me out in person, is typically the best they see me. There's plenty of times off camera or away from somebody that I'm in much worse condition. I mean, I slept or rested most of the way drive back home yesterday from Durham because my body just crashed, like 2 p.m. My body crashed. I'm going to get home till like 8. So, I mean, I was just kind of like being a vegetable in the car and not feeling well. Not a fun way to go through the day. Anyways, so today I have lab work with Dr. Bordano's office to get some data for my thyroid doctor, who I have an appointment with like in 2 weeks. Hopefully that gets lined out, but we'll talk about that when we get the chance. And then after that, I have a pulmonary test with a pulmonologist, obviously. That's going to be a laughable experience, I think. And I'm not sure what they're going to tell me that I don't know, but got to do it. And then tomorrow at 8 o'clock in the morning, I have the lung draining procedure. I have to fast. Yay, my favorite activity to do. And Saturday's my off day. And then Sunday we travel back to Nashville to go to Sarah Cannon for, I think just labs again on Monday, but there may be more stuff. I need to look at my calendar and the piece of paper they gave me that spells it all out again, because I haven't been keeping dibs on it. I just know I've got to be there. After Monday, next week, I'm finally like, I get a break. And then Josie's friend from Germany, Stefan, will be in town and we'll be jumping all over Tennessee to go kind of play tourist with him and show him some things. So I'm hoping I can get the lung drained and can be like normal again for her sake and his sake, so I can, not get pushed around Nashville in a wheelchair, or I'm actually able to hang out with him, because I would really like to be a part of that. But I've already told her there may be things that I'm just gonna have to sit out, and you're gonna have to be okay going on without me, so that he has a good time here. I'll be okay by myself. Again, it's one of the things that I hate about this disease, that I just have to sometimes sit things out. Kind of like I missed my grandparents' 70th wedding anniversary. Sometimes you just miss things because you have to. And got to learn to be okay with that. Anyways, that's it for now. If I'm feeling okay tomorrow, I'll do an update on how the lung draining went. If not, I'll do one as soon as I can, because I want to share how that experience went, and hopefully it goes really well. I'm hopeful, cautiously hopeful on it. So we shall see. School starts up back soon for Cameron. I think maybe he goes back either midweek next week or the following week. I'm not sure which. I think it's next week. And yeah, so sorry, bud. Summer's over. Back to the grind, 7th grade awaits you. I remember 7th grade. It's a awkward and fun time, You're growing up and getting more independent, and life just gets more interesting. So, but we can talk about that later in another video. Love you, Cam.